Now, in Kenya, the insurance sector faces some interesting challenges and opportunities with total insurance penetration in the country at 3.9%. Pan Africa has experienced consistent growth in earnings for the past 4 years. The earnings growth momentum is expected to continue. While to take us through Pan Africa Life's investment case, we are joined by Kimatai Bernard, who's the investment analyst at Ashanti Advisory. Thank you so much for making the time to join us today. Before we get into that specific company's stats, let's first talk about the alarming stats of insurance penetration in Kenya, less than 4%. Surely there's a lot of growth potential there.
Yes, from the data that has come out, there's still a lot of potential. Penetration less than 4%, as you've just said. So companies such as Pan Africa, Britam, and Jubilee still have a lot to do to penetrate the market, and especially in life products, where the uptake is even less than the average 4%.
Now, if we look at Pan Africa's results in terms of how they've been performing, if you look at their first half for 2013 than the full year of 2012, so they've done more in this specific financial period than they did in the full year. What was the biggest driver behind that?
The biggest driver for them, as you've said, for the half year 2013, the profits were up 266% compared to same period in 2012, and for the whole year in 2012, the profits have almost doubled. So for them, the main drivers were other lines of business where they entered into the property markets. They offloaded a lot of property. Then the new business also was up 7% year on year. So that also helped a lot with their revenues for the half year.
Kimatai, there's just an interesting stat here that their net written premiums declined by 36%. Is this something that we should be concerned about?
Not really. That mainly happened because of a one-off annuity payment they made in 2012. So since it was just a one-off payment, that should not happen again. So it's not a main concern.
Now, if we look at Pan Africa, you mentioned that it has done particularly well, but how does it fare against its other counterparts in the insurance sector, the likes of Britam, Jubilee, and Liberty, and so forth?
Compared to the other competitors, the Jubilee, the CIC, the Britam, have diverse insurance products. Pan Africa mainly focuses on life business. That is why that's where the revenues are mainly drawn from. Taking that into consideration, there's still room for improvement. And if you look at the other companies, they're coming into the life business, with Britam launching products, Jubilee doing the same, and also CIC. So for them, the niche market is the life business, and they're prospering, and going forward, they'll make more gains into that sector.
Now, with the banking sector, we've seen that a lot of the banks are starting to make use of mobile banking and so forth. Is the insurance sector possibly doing the same thing in order to attract customers to the specific sector?
Yes, in fact, Pan Africa Life has an agreement with Bharti Airtel Kenya, where they are selling life products. They have new life products sold over their mobile platform called Bima Mkononi. So with that, they hope to expand and get more customers into their business.
Let's talk about the fact that when it comes to Pan Africa and the fact that they are paying out a dividend, it does make it very attractive to investors. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, that certainly makes the stock attractive to investors. As the previous 3 years, they've paid roughly 4% dividend yield, and that has increased in 2012 to over 6%, and with increased gains, the dividends payout to shareholders is set to increase even further.
This specific stock is not the most expensive stock, but it is trading at a premium of 63%.
Yes, actually it is, but its valuation, it's relatively cheap compared to its peers. The industry average PE is at around 16%. So for this stock, at a trailing PE of 4.8%, its valuation is quite cheap. And given its capitalization, it can still, the premium is makes it more attractive to investors.
I'm not sure, but I'm getting the sense that you are quite bullish on the stock. But are you able to tell us about what areas of what challenging areas that Pan Africa can be faced with, or this specific sector? I mean, what are the big challenges when it comes to insurance that such companies are looking at?
One of the biggest challenges is penetration. As you've said, most people do not have insurance, and getting on new clients is a big challenge. That being said, there are also certain risks that insurance companies cannot mitigate against, and the performance of their underlying investments is also another challenge for them. So if the underlying investments perform well going forward, then certainly they will announce better results at the end of the year. Another challenge is also regulation. The government is has quite stringent regulation for the industry, so that has kept a cap on most players.
You mentioned regulation there, and you said that you do expect the company to perform well. But going into the next financial year, how well are we talking?
Given that the half-year results were over 200% for the compared to last year, and the trailing PE, we expect Pan Africa to hit the billion mark when they announce their full-year results.